You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Welcome to episode 315 of the Rusted Robot Podcast. This is Sunday, November the 22nd, 2020.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hello, I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations.
I am Locutus, a Borg.
You're like a machine underneath, right? But sort of alive outside?
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
I'm an android.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Counterfeit, facsimile, replica.
We need some sort of robot. Ah, crap! I'm some sort of robot.
Hey everybody, it's Sean.
And Josh.
And Kitty.
And we are here to entertain the pants off of all of you out there in podcast land. And we're just going to get right into it. Are you guys ready?
So this episode is not safe for work?
All the episodes are safe for work.
But if they're going to be taking their pants off...
We don't condone that. We're just
That's just because pants are for suckers.
Pants are for suckers.
Uh-huh.
We're just going to be entertaining them that much. So
that their pants will come off.
Yeah.
So it's not safe for work. They shouldn't be listening to this at work if their pants will come off, and then they'll get in trouble for sexual harassment, and they'll get fired.
Wear kilts.
Yeah, there you go. Skirts and kilts.
Skirts and kilts.
That might be the title of this episode, but probably not.
You guys know about the utility kilts, right?
I know about the utility kilts.
Of course.
They're pretty cool.
Yes. Hey, so on the way here to your house to record this podcast that we are currently recording, guess what I heard on CBC Radio?
There's a typhoon thing coming. 2020, so I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I didn't hear that.
In Thunder Bay, somebody found the heart of the Walmart and it burst into flame.
Wasn't that North Bay?
Thunder Bay.
No, that's not what I heard either. I heard the end of an interview with the guy from 50 years ago this month who was there reporting on the exploding whale that we talked about 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes, this month is the 50th anniversary. I just thought that was kind of neat, because I don't normally listen to CBC Radio, but all the music on the other stations were crap, so I was just flipping through and heard him talking about the whale.
50 years, and we wound up talking about it just recently.
We did, I think 2 weeks ago, and I actually...
How long?
2 weeks.
And I put that at the end of
Yeah.
that podcast,
Huh.
the 3-minute video clip.
It's so funny. Like, it shouldn't be, but it is. It's hilarious. The foibles of human ideas.
Yes, I believe, I'm just going to pull that up here too, just so I can give our listeners a quick rundown, that, yes, it was episode 313, which we called Exploding Whales and Body Hoppers. You remember, you were there. That was 2 weeks ago. How many weeks ago? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep. So I just thought that was an interesting tidbit.
It is.
A little bit of continuity and tie-ins to previous episodes.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. What have you guys been up to this week?
What have we been up to?
Oh.
I've been painting a giant mural on a window.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Of what?
She's doing a big Christmas wreath for the 101 Mall.
Mm.
And she also got hired to do like a cityscape.
Yeah, I haven't started that one yet, though, and hopefully it won't come until after the holidays.
Yeah, that one's not timed because this one's seasonal specific, right? So you got to get it done.
Why are you painting a wreath at the 101 Mall of all places?
Ah, well, didn't you know? Jump City, Jump City, Jump City. Timmins, Ontario, Canada. I have a comic book shop in the basement of the 101 Mall.
Say what?
Yeah, it's called Jump City. It's at 38 Pine Street North, Timmins, Ontario.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense. Shameless plug alert.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch any cool TV?
All we've been watching lately is Midsommer Murders.
Yep.
Oh, that doesn't sound sci-fi at all.
Well, actually, it's supposed to take place in
the fictional county of Midsommer in England.
But
okay.
it's supposed to be basically set in reality, but they do totally hint at supernatural things.
And this is an older show, am I
It is older.
It's got 20 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I really like it, though.
Is it on Netflix?
No, we're watching it on Tubi.
Ah, yes, Tubi.
Apparently it's also on Roku channel, though.
Okay, I thought Tubi went down.
Nope.
No, it's still on.
We watched it last night.
Okay, and you're enjoying it?
Well, I've watched it before.
All 20 seasons?
No.
No.
Because we stopped watching it 5 years ago, and there have been 5 seasons since then.
So they're still making this thing?
Yeah.
Oh my, okay.
I don't know why it's good, it just is.
Now, these are English seasons, so some of them are like a year and a half apart, 2 years apart.
Right, okay.
So it's not like 20 years of shows, because it's from the 90s, right?
Also, certain things about it tend to be a little more conservative, but The main guy is, he's like a very stand-up guy. Very good, very like open to new ideals and stuff. He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. So you'd recommend this show?
Highly. It's a strangely calm murder show.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it has, what's Elf Boy's name?
Orlando Bloom is in
Yeah,
the
Orlando
episode.
Bloom.
really?
He's,
Okay.
one of his earlier acting roles is in there, and...
He's a murder victim.
Yeah.
You get to see his butt.
Yeah, you do get to see his butt.
Well, if that's not a recommendation, I don't know what is.
Gets killed by a pitchfork.
Yeah, killed by a pitchfork. That's what happened. Well,
Spoilers.
somebody
Hello.
wielding a pitchfork. No, it happens like right at the beginning of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the body,
Gotcha.
right? Although some of the episodes, the murder doesn't come till like
Later?
30 minutes into the episode, 40 minutes into the episode, you're like, where's the murder?
Yeah, he mostly, for the most part, he investigates murders. But it also just kind of follows Detective Barnaby. So sometimes it'll start off not with a murder and just like go about his regular day.
So is it like British Murder, She Wrote?
Almost.
Like he's an
But not
actual
really.
detective, not just a murder writer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
And then he has a younger partner who's a terrible driver. And then he gets changed at some point.
Yes.
Detective Troy becomes somebody else. Or
Well-
Constable Troy.
a
Constable.
sergeant.
Sergeant. That's right.
He's Detective Sergeant Troy.
Detective Sergeant Troy. Which is, it's pretty funny because he makes him run around and do a lot of the work.
Yeah, there's a couple of episodes that hint at supernatural. Like there's one where we're fairly certain that guy's a druid. Another one, there's a psychic that makes a prediction that ends up coming true.
Ah, nice.
But does it?
Okay, it's open-ended.
Yeah, there's also, it's not uncommon to like, they have like little fairs that they call fates. And there's also like groups of pagans in their community who will regularly have like Wicker Man festivals.
Oh.
And like, it's not seen as weird or like, oh, they're crazy pagans. They're like, yeah, this happens all the time. Once a year, they have this Wicker Man festival, and sometimes we go to it if the weather's nice. It's pretty great. It's a weird show.
Sounds like it. I watched something this week on Crave, but it's from Showtime originally. It's called Moonbase 8. Have you heard of this?
Moonbase 8.
It's got 6 episodes so far. I don't know if that's all they're making or not. It stars John C. Reilly and Fred Armisen. And what it is it's 3 guys, and they're on a moon base simulation in some desert place. They have to pretend like they're actually on the moon, and they do all the moon things, and they're a bunch of screw-ups. People keep coming in to be with them. Like there's a rotating group of people that come in and out, and they've been there for like 2 years, and people come in for a week and then they go up to the moon. So these guys are real screw-ups, but it's hilarious. It's kind of like, I think, Space Force, but I couldn't watch Space Force.
Okay.
But I could watch this. I watched all 6 episodes in one sitting. Moonbase 8. It's fun.
So like everybody else who comes in does their like little training and then they actually go off to the moon, and then this other group that's been there for 2 years is still there.
Because they're a bunch of...
They're just dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, so they keep messing up.
You think they'd be kicked from the program?
You would think so. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I don't know what else to say about it without spoilers, but it's amusing.
Well, it sounds like fun.
And it kept me busy for 3 hours. This week I went to Walmart and I bought some movies on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. I got X-Men's Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
I know, I went to see it at the theater. It wasn't that great, but it was $10 and I had to complete my X-Men collection.
Okay.
So I watched it last night with Julie's daughter, and she really liked it. And it wasn't as bad as I remember. It was fine. It wasn't great. And I also bought Avengers Endgame, because it was $10, but Infinity War was $25, so I don't have the first one.
Do you think they'll ever make a giant crazy box set?
Well, that's what I was waiting for, but it was $10, so I had to get it.
Yeah.
And so
Plus, you already like own the rest, right?
Except for Infinity War.
Okay.
I think they did release like the Phase box sets.
They did, but it was like $600 or something stupid.
Holy moly!
No, because there's like there's
Does
Phase
it
1,
come
Phase
with
2,
extra
Phase 3.
stuff?
Mm-hmm. I think so. All kinds of
yeah.
trinkets and whatever. But
the collector's edition that they mass produce.
Yes. So anyway, she saw Captain Marvel on the front cover of it, and she loves Captain Marvel, so we had to watch it.
It's a fun show.
And I said, okay, but it's the second one, and we haven't seen the first one. Do you still want to watch it? She's like, yes, it's got Captain Marvel in it. I'm like, okay.
She's barely in it, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's deceitful.
Mm-hmm. But it was 3 hours long, and it didn't feel like it.
No, the movie still moves.
Yeah, but still good.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it again. And then I also watched episode 6 of Star Trek Discovery.
Black alert. Black alert.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And what can I tell you about that without giving it away to our listeners if they haven't seen it yet? We've got detachable warp engines. We've got programmable matter. We've got super fancy, cool new communicators that are your personal transporter device, your tricorder, and your communication thing, and a holographic display.
That does a lot of stuff all at once.
Okay, so the holographic display, that's cool. Maybe a tricorder, but you're getting a lot of stuff packed into a small space there.
Mm-hmm.
A personal transporter?
They've introduced that in the first episode of the season. It's a new thing.
How does that function?
Maybe it just makes it easier to lock onto your pattern? Because, remember how they used to have those weird tripod boosters that you had to have in a triangle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for particularly tough environments.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is, you get disassembled, and then you get copied and reassembled at the target location.
Yes.
I don't even like the idea
How
of
are
that.
you reassembled if the thing that does the reassembling is disassembled?
It's the
no
future.
disassemble, Stephanie.
It's the future.
Okay, but certain things wouldn't make any... that doesn't make any sense.
No, and Linus, one of the main characters, or side characters, I guess, he's not in every episode, kept popping up into the wrong spot for hilarity. That was a lot of fun, and it was hilarious, and he kept just showing up, and he's like, oh, this isn't where I'm supposed to be, and then he
Although if you
disappeared
have
again.
things going wrong with the transporter, that's how people die.
That is how people die.
Didn't they have somebody die because of a transporter accident?
Lots of people died from transporter accidents, or they get stuck, or
phased,
moved, or put into a different dimension, or copied.
Yeah. And so basically, Michael Burnham is still being
combined with a fly,
still being a rogue character, and her and Giorgio went off on a side mission. They blew up a lot of bad guys, so there was a lot of killing. The good guys killed a lot of bad guys in this episode.
Is that good?
I don't know if it's very Star Trek-y, but
no, it's not.
You're not supposed to be just killing people. You're not a Kirk, right? And Kirk only did it when he couldn't get found out that he was just killing people.
They were rescuing slaves.
Okay.
I always found it really weird. Do you remember in the Star Wars universe how they had the Jedi who are supposed to be noble and knights and
yeah,
there's a lot of them at one point and
a few thousand,
and they still let slavery be a thing.
The slavery is banned in the Republic, but not everywhere in the galaxy is part of the Republic.
Isn't the Republic? Isn't that the one that eventually is the wrong side that they're rebelling against?
The Republic becomes the Empire.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Darth Vader and Palpatine and all the guys that we think are evil are against slavery.
No. Slavery was reintroduced for non-human species.
Or even if you're just a clone?
Well, that's a different issue. You're not considered a person. You're considered property if you're a clone. That was a whole big problem with the Clone Wars. It's the Jedi are working with a slave army, but yeah. No, slavery is outlawed, but...
Except for when it suits their needs. So
exactly.
Just in regular society.
Yeah.
It's illegal for now.
But
should suit the needs of the capitalists in the future.
But the Outer Rim is not a part of the Republic, nor is Hutt space. And that is where we see the most slaves commonly. There's also the slave empire of something. I don't remember the exact name.
So we've just been talking about Star Trek, Star Wars, and slaves, and all of those start with the letter S. You know what also starts with the letter S? Supernatural, which just ended its 15-year run this week.
That was a very Sesame Street segue of you.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
And our celebrity death of the week, his last name starts with S, so it's all going to tie in here pretty good. So I've seen exactly one episode of Supernatural, and I don't care that it's over, but lots of people were sad. Did you guys ever watch it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I watched 10 seasons.
Okay. I know they were supposed to have 5 seasons, and then they did an extra 10. That's all I know. And there's a car, and there's supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
The first season is still the best season, I think.
Okay.
At some point, it got too much heaven versus hell. Because I was mostly in it for the monster of the week, 2 boys out to find their missing father.
Yes.
And then once they found him, it was still entertaining because there were still other monsters and ghosts and other things for them to hunt. But then when it became heaven versus hell, and I guess we're here still fighting monsters, even though now there's omnipotent beings that are super powerful that aren't doing anything.
Okay.
That became kind of weird, but then it gets good again because some of the angels are funny.
Well, 15 years is a long time. The quality is going to dip up and down.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about our celebrity death of the week.
Oh my gosh, you're always so excited about this part.
Well, it's a Star Trek celebrity from the original series. And
Why are you excited?
I'm not. It's just, I'm being enthusiastic for the recording purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
People like when he's enthusiastic.
Yeah.
So who did you murder?
Herbert F. Solo, a longtime television executive who pitched the original Star Trek series to NBC while he was at Desilu Studios, along with Mission Impossible and Mannix, died on Thursday. He was 89. Solo was brought in by Lucille Ball after her divorce from Desi Arnaz to help revive Desilu Studios, where he helped develop and sell Star Trek to NBC after CBS originally turned it down because it already had Lost in Space as well as Mission Impossible. The article is kind of long. It talks about how he did all kinds of things for Star Trek. He was the originator of the Captain's Log Stardate setup, because it made the show seem like it was being told as if it had already happened. So it was the history of the future. So it's not, this is happening, this has already happened kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it made it successful. Herb Solo, huge Star Trek influencer, dead at 89.
89's a decent run.
Not bad.
That's a good length of life.
Mm-hmm. I thought
Hopefully he had a good quality of life. It's great if you live 150 years, but if 120 of them are terrible, maybe 40 would have been okay.
Right, you just never know.
Yeah, but if he had a good life, and it sounds like he did, pretty good run.
Mm-hmm. Not bad.
Condolences to his family.
Exactly. And all the Star Trek fans who remember seeing his name in the credits on the original Star Trek.
Yes.
I do not read the credits that often.
Oh no? I've watched Star Trek so many times, it's almost impossible not to memorize them.
I try, particularly with movies, I'll sit there through the credits and I'll try to read it, but it's hard.
Yes.
Like you're 2 minutes into the credits, you keep reading. Who's the second best boy grip lighting guy
on the second unit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. Like, I'm glad for you, but I will not remember your name. I've read 400 names at this point.
Yeah, no, exactly. I find it interesting to see the different names, and I'm like, well, that would be a good name for a character in a novel that I'll never get around to writing.
Well, you should sit down and write it.
Yeah, I know. I've said that for 25 years.
You can even just talk it. Like, there's
text-to-speech now.
True, there is. Yep. Apparently, the Predator franchise doesn't bleed because you just can't kill it. Despite a disappointing fourth entry in 2018, 20th Century Studios is looking to bring the sci-fi action franchise back to life with a mysterious fifth installment. Deadline reports that Dan Trachtenberg is in talks to helm a fifth Predator with a script by Patrick Elson. Trachtenberg is best known for helming 10 Cloverfield Lane, but also directed the pilot of Amazon's The Boys and the VR episode of Black Mirror. And Elson is a writer-producer with credits on Wayward Pines, Jack Ryan, and Treadstone. There's no details on what approach this entry is taking with the franchise, but Deadline says it's unlikely to continue the story of the 2018 film. We know that they're doing a new one, but we don't know what it's about, or when it's going to come out, or who's going to be in it.
Okay, so they are already in sequence. The best film is the first one, and they just get worse.
I did enjoy the one with Adam Brody and Larry Fishburne.
That one wasn't good, though.
No, it wasn't good, but I enjoyed it.
This is a super predator, and it hunts the other predators. What? It's bad. It's not good.
Oh, I didn't say it was good, but I enjoyed it.
You can enjoy it, but it's not good.
No, true enough.
I like a lot of stuff that's bad.
You're like, I haven't even seen the latest one.
Yeah.
The trailers looked like so meh.
I had it on Netflix this week.
It was. You know what it felt to me? Like a knockoff Predator.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
That's what the trailers made me think. Like, oh, this looks like a knockoff Predator movie.
Yes.
Oh, it's Predator? Oh.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
Oh. For a stalking hunter, right? That's a ambush Predator type hunter. Stalk in the shadows, move quietly, take your kill when they're alone and isolated, right? So you don't spook the herd. That movie had a lot of explosions.
I would like to see Arnold Schwarzenegger in the fifth Predator movie. Bring him back. Do some kind of updated version of the first one.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
We just recently watched a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Oh?
Actually, no, yeah, just the one that you haven't heard about so far. Kindergarten Cop.
Yes, I've heard of that.
No, we've been showing our son a lot of the classic movies.
Yes.
But we told you guys about Conan.
Right, because you watched Matrix and Conan last week.
Yeah.
And this week was Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
And how did he enjoy it?
He liked it. It's funny. It's a funny movie.
Yeah. That's not a tumor one?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I may have seen it once, a long time ago.
I was looking for Jingle All the Way.
Oh.
Couldn't find it.
That's when we're looking for the toy?
Yeah.
Yes. He had a series of really crappy movies back in the 90s.
I want to show him Twins.
Twins is a good movie.
That's from 1988 with Danny DeVito.
Yes.
We watched that all the time as kids. Me and my brothers.
It's a good movie. And Junior.
And they're making triplets.
Remember Junior?
I remember Junior.
That's a good movie too.
That's one where he's pregnant?
Yeah.
That's one where he's pregnant, yeah.
I might have seen that one. I've seen a lot of bad movies. In my
There's
time.
so many. No, they're good.
Junior's
they're funny.
fantastic.
I can't remember. It would have been like 25 years ago when I saw it. So
They're silly and fun. I think I miss people making movies just based on weird concepts and then making them actually good.
Yes, I agree. I've been wanting to get through the rest of the Witcher season, which I haven't gotten back to yet.
That's a good show.
I know. And there's like 5 or 6 different other series that I want to watch. And all I want to do is go back and watch Babylon 5 again for the 10th time.
Watch Babylon 5 again.
I know. It's like comfort food.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I rewatched Friends recently. So,
Yeah? All 10 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it all.
There you go. Okay, so let's put a promo in right here.
Hi, I'm Joe Heath.
And I'm Tony Heath.
And we've been watching Doctor Who for 5 years.
So that makes us experts.
Probably.
I once heard a guy say that he listened to a 4-hour podcast by an expert, which made him an expert.
So we're experts.
Definitely experts.
And you can be an expert too.
All you have to do is listen to
The Watchathon of Rassilon.
It's a podcast
that we make
together,
sometimes with friends.
Listen to it,
or else.
The Watchathon of Rassilon,
a proud member of the ESO network.
And I believe that's the Watchathon of Rassilon promo that I just played last week in Soulforge. So it's this week.
What a great promo.
In Rusted Robot. Yeah, because of course you listened to Soulforge, so you already heard the promo, right?
Indeedly do.
Of course you did. And speaking of podcasts and the Soulforge and whatnot, you know how I do Cosmic Pizza with Paul and Dan?
Yes.
Well, guess what? We've submitted the Cosmic Pizza podcast to the ESO network as well, so it's currently going review time. So we're going to see
exciting.
if I'll have all 3 of my podcasts on ESO network.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there like a preferential treatment for people who already have podcasts on network?
No, I don't think so. It just depends if
it just has to be good.
It has to be good, and it has to fit the theme of.
Well, it doesn't have to be good. We're on there.
Oh, yeah. that is true. You're right. But it's the station for all things geek. But they should change that to all things geek and the Soulforge. That should be their new tagline.
You do talk about geeky stuff on the Soulforge.
It does seem to leak in sometimes. Mm-hmm. That is true.
Part of your soul.
It is. It is. You're quite right.
It's probably the core of it.
The core of my soul.
Yeah.
Is the geekdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're not wrong. Speaking of geeky things, Wonder Woman has been delayed and delayed and delayed, but now it's coming to HBO Max and a limited theater run on Christmas.
They should hold it.
I think they should hold it as well. You're not wrong.
With the announcement of 2 possibly viable vaccines that might be out within as short as 8 months, they should hold it.
And get all the monies.
Yeah.
But
Wonder Woman's good.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same person who's directing it this time?
Yeah, Patty Jenkins directed it. Gal Gadot starred as Wonder Woman again.
Well, that's
and
good.
Chris Pine is back as Steve Trevor, even though he died in the first one. Spoiler alert.
Is it...
Takes place in 1984.
No, that wouldn't make any sense. I was going to ask if it was like a prologue or if it took place in between, but that doesn't make any sense because we saw all the parts where they were together already.
Yeah, and there's some kind of mind trickery is what I'm thinking. I don't know what it's all about. It's hard to say. What?
Clone?
I don't think it's a clone.
Pulled through time, clone, not really the person who they thought it was.
Yeah, there's something fishy going
Relative?
on. No,
sometimes they do that.
Yeah, but no. So that takes place in 1984. And you know what also takes place in the 80s?
A lot of things.
Yes, but currently, Stranger Things.
Yes.
And the latest news out of Stranger Things is that Season 4 began resuming filming in September. And we may finally see Season 4 summer of 2021. We don't know. They're not 100% sure, of course, because of COVID, and it's 2020, so everything's uncertain. But they announced 8 new cast members, and I've got the article for that on the Facebook page. There's a bunch of people that I never heard of, but you know who is on there that I heard of?
Who's that?
Robert Englund. Do you know who that is?
Name sounds familiar, but I do not place it at this moment. That does not give me any hints.
Okay, so for listeners, I just put my hand up like claws. Okay, so I got my claw hand, I got my top hat, I got my stripy sweater. I'm gonna go in your dreams and kill you.
That's a very terrible Krueger impression, but okay.
Yeah, that was not an impression of any kind. It was just a weird voice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. He's going to be in season 4 of Stranger Things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
A lot of these announcements are not like, oh, we have a new main character. It's somebody's going to be in for like 4 episodes and probably die to a monster.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, all right, that's fine. Like, I enjoyed what I watched so far.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So, good on them. My only concern is they took such a long break between filming, right?
Mm-hmm.
That with child actors, that's always dicey.
Yes.
Because what if one of them hits a growth spurt?
Yeah, so they'll probably have to tie that into the story somehow. So that's Stranger Things news. That also starts with S. And you know what else starts with S? Scream, which just finished wrapping its 5th installment this past week. So how cool is that?
Is it just going to be one letter we're sponsored by this week, or 2 letters?
Well, how about A for Arecibo? Do you know what the Arecibo is? The
No.
Arecibo array in Puerto Rico?
No.
That was featured in the film, I think, GoldenEye, as well as Contact, with Jodie Foster, who was my childhood crush.
I watched both of those.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well,
The Arecibo Deep Space Radio Array?
yeah, that one.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know about
Space.
that.
Yeah, the iconic SETI dish will be demolished.
Starts with S.
Yes,
SETI?
it does. SETI also starts with S, and Arecibo has a C in it, but it sounds like an S. So there you go. Yeah, it's going to be demolished due to risk of catastrophic collapse.
Okay, wow.
So maybe we're also brought to the letter by C, catastrophic collapse. So anyway, what happened is, I'm just going to read the article real quick. It says, the recent failure of 2 support cables at the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico has destabilized the structure such that it cannot be repaired without placing construction workers at significant risk, according to officials with the National Science Foundation. As feared, the beloved 1,000-foot telescope will have to be demolished. As if 2020 couldn't get any worse, we received news this morning that the giant dish at Arecibo is going to be demolished. The NSF came to this hard decision following a review of engineering assessments, which concluded that the observatory is in seriously bad shape and that it cannot be stabilized without placing workers in danger. The NSF is now planning for the controlled decommission of the dish, ending a historic 57-year run. And
Maybe they could build something bigger and better, though.
Well, the only thing I have to say about that is screw the workers, fix it.
Why?
Because there's lots of people in the world.
But we have so much new technology now. Maybe we can build something
it is
better.
a bit outdated.
It is, but it's important.
Well, so are people's lives.
No, there's so many people. You can just make more.
No.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you can just make more, but
It's
the people
true.
who exist now are important.
Oh, sure, for somebody, I guess. But whatever.
Okay, but like, my children are the coolest people in the whole world.
Well, they're not construction workers. They're not going to work on the array, so it's fine.
They could.
I work
Damien's
in
not bad.
maintenance. You're throwing my people under the bus there, Sean.
See, I'm thinking of starting a new segment.
How about you go deliver some packages to those workers while they're working there?
I can do that.
And maybe get crushed as the thing collapses on you because you wanted to repair it instead of tear it down.
What a way to go.
Well, like, I was thinking, though...
No, I'm just thinking...
I get things being here on Earth
Yeah.
for convenience.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, we have the ability to build stuff way the heck out in space now.
It's true. And I don't really want to kill construction workers. I'm just thinking about starting...
Well, okay, good, because we weren't talking about killing construction workers. We were talking about negligent...
Not putting them in danger.
You're talking now about just, like, sniping them as they're working?
No.
You were going to die anyway.
Yeah. No. So what I was thinking about doing is starting...
You showed up late for work.
Are you going to let me finish my sentence?
No, we're going to keep mugging you.
Apparently. I want to start a new segment called The Unpopular Opinion, where I say something controversial that I don't necessarily believe, but sounds funny.
Isn't that the concept of the podcast?
Kind of. But I want to make it blatantly
That's
obvious.
such a bad idea. Local man was put down today for controversial opinions.
So it says, while the 1,000-foot dish will have to be demolished, it will need to be done in such a way to protect the facility's other assets, including many important buildings under Tower 12. Once the observatory is deemed safe, scientific activities will resume at the site, including work with the LiDAR to study Earth's atmosphere.
Okay, so like there's other buildings also at
There's
risk.
all kinds of things around there.
Okay, well
then
definitely
have to
take it down.
decommission it.
Yes, because the problem started August 10th when an auxiliary cable slipped from its socket, falling into the dish below and causing considerable damage.
Wow.
Then, on November 6th, a main cable snapped, and it too fell onto the structure. With these two support cables gone, concerns emerged about the overall stability of the structure. And the article goes on, and it's pretty bad, and I don't think anybody should be near it, but...
What if we built a space elevator?
Ooh, I think we should have a space elevator.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yes.
And then we could have a station up at the top, and that could be the new observatory.
With sufficient power, we can build a dynamic structure and just build a tower to space.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, you could just walk up the stairs.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't, though. I can barely do the stairs at work. I take the regular elevator for going up.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk downstairs.
What goes upstairs and down the stairs?
I don't know, it's not me. I only go down.
Yeah, no. That's not how the Slinky commercial goes either. Which always
the new Slinky goes upstairs.
Yes.
There's no escape.
super creepy. Okay.
Yeah, but wouldn't you love a tower to space and just start the Slinky going?
Ooh.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would, as long as it actually doesn't stop. I've had it go down like 2 stairs and then stop.
Yeah, so they don't really work that well as they do on TV.
Oh, well, I got really good at it, though,
Mm-hmm.
when I was in grade 8 for the science fair. My project was on Slinkies.
Huh. Slinky starts with S, and so does Science Fair.
Yes, it does.
So, you've heard of SETI.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of METI?
No.
Oh, well,
it doesn't start with S.
No, I know it.
Message to extraterrestrial intelligence.
Yes, it says here, today METI, the scientific organization devoted to messaging extraterrestrial intelligence, there's METI, announced that actor Anson Mount has joined its board of directors. The star of the upcoming Paramount series Star Trek Strange New Worlds said in a statement, "It is a distinct privilege to be asked to join the outstanding scientists, artists, and innovators that make up the METI team. I look forward to helping this organization expand its footprint in our cultural landscape and educate the general public about our endeavors to connect with extraterrestrial intelligence through scientific methods as we continue to grapple with the implications of this work. As a Starfleet captain, it brings me unbridled joy to be able to say that I am actually sending out a hail."
Okay, so...
That's neat.
METI is a project that...
was founded in 2015.
That is a flawed concept. Other than a generic, we're here... and we're intelligent.
Yeah.
What message could they attempt to send?
Well,
because the nature of the way this will work, unless you go very targeted to this star system, we still need SETI to do the other side of it. Now,
of course,
there's the argument to be made that METI is the other side of SETI, and you need a METI on the other side to be able to pick up a SETI program, because like the diffusion of the signal over distance becomes so weak, and as we compact information, it becomes more and more that it resembles background noise if you don't know how to decode it. So there's that argument, but I find that to be less compelling than most people would think.
Okay.
Because like any type, the Fermi paradox indicates that there's a reason we don't see other people out there.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, maybe we're the first. One of the reasons, maybe they died.
The Great Filter.
One of the reasons is maybe they're just waiting for us to pop our head up so they can chop it off because they don't want competition.
There's a lot of reasons. Yeah.
Right?
Or maybe they have seen us and they don't like us.
Well, have you seen humanity? Holy crap.
It'd be worse than that. They'd have to be using technology that does not show up in the way we see things.
Well, like, remember when the Vulcans just didn't want to communicate with people until we reached a certain level?
We had to have warp drive.
Yeah, that's the isolation for protection.
Isolation protocols in effect.
Or the zoo hypothesis. But, yeah, no, because, like, the way we talk about building space things, we often talk about building, like, megastructures. We don't see signs of megastructures. We don't see signs of civilizations that are building Dyson spheres or anything like that. We don't even see signs of radio use that we would expect. So whatever, if they're out there, they're using tech we don't understand, which means we might not even be able to contact them.
Yeah.
Because, like, if we're throwing out radio signals and nobody's like, who the hell uses radio?
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I don't think METI's a worthwhile project, particularly because it's like, well, what message beyond the very basic, we're here, here's some basic math to prove we're sentient.
Right.
What else are we going to send?
Come and say hi.
Do we want them to come and say hi?
Not necessarily, but that's what they're aiming for. They want to make contact with extraterrestrial civilizations if they're out there.
But that is an argument that you have to bring, because like that is a global affecting argument.
Yes.
That a small group has decided is the right decision.
But it's got Anson Mount, and he's a handsome man who plays Captain Pike.
He's handsome to us, but there's a very good chance that like extraterrestrials are already among us, and they're tardigrades.
And they think we're ugly bags of mostly water.
Well, they don't think the same way we do at all.
Of course.
Because they don't need the type of tech we need to get out into space. They just ride through it.
Let's talk about trailers.
Okay.
Tom and Jerry trailer.
After a lifetime of being the world's most famous enemies,
you can count on me like 1, 2, 3.
Tom and Jerry are about to start over.
'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh yeah.
In the big city.
This hotel has been host to 4 presidents, 3 popes, 2 kings, and we're about to host the wedding of the century.
Do you think you're qualified to take on this position?
I shine under pressure, like a diamond. Or Rihanna.
One other thing. We have a mouse problem.
With the what now? I'll catch it, sir.
Everybody gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try.
Oh wow, this is so detailed. We could hire an exterminator, or we can leverage millions of years of predatory evolution.
Got the baddest lie.
If a picture of this mouse is tweeted out to Instabook Face or TikTok, we will be ruined.
No, sir, that's not gonna happen. That rodent is toast.
I will not let this hotel be ruined by a cat and a mouse.
He's toying with us.
I think I might have just pulled this off.
Really?
We blowing up the whole thing. Everybody in the bouncy house go a bouncy, bouncy now. Bouncy now.
Ugh.
Meh. Yeah. So live action with cartoon characters.
Okay, that can be really fun.
That's done. That can be done well. That's been done well with Cool World. That's been done well with
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I friggin' hate Roger Rabbit.
It's a good movie.
So
can't stand
we are
that.
further announcing that Sean will be leading the podcast.
Local nut job was put down today for
Controversial thing.
But no,
for controversial
I thought it was only one per episode.
Oh, I didn't know we had a limit. No, but it's because Roger Rabbit's always screaming and yelling, and I can't stand it.
Yeah, he's supposed to be an annoying character.
He is, and that's why I don't like the movie.
That's why he gets paired with the straight man.
Yeah, it annoys me. It's just annoying.
That's the
So I
point.
can't watch
That's the
it.
point of the movie.
That's the point of the character.
Oh, I get it. I understand. I just don't like it.
Oh.
Okay, well,
So
it's a good movie.
Well, you don't have to like
it can be good, but I just don't like it.
Cultural
I'm not.
icon.
I'm not saying if it's good or bad. I'm just saying I can't stand it.
All right. Anyways, but
Tom and
on
Jerry
this
here.
one, Tom and Jerry work best when it's Tom and Jerry.
Darmok and Gillard.
Don't throw in people.
Lots of cool people though.
Yeah, no.
Lots
no,
of cool character actors we know of.
Even when they did the cartoon version where they started including people where you could see their faces, it was less good.
Yeah, and Tom and Jerry, by its very nature, is the quintessential chase cartoon.
It's the Itchy and Scratchy show.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
It is the Roadrunner and
Coyote.
Coyote.
It is the quintessential chase cartoon.
Yes.
It has to be cartoonish. And they do that.
And they're better also like in short bits.
Yeah.
Because like it's very repetitive. No matter what it
Yeah.
does, it's basically the same story.
Have you
over
ever
and
sat
over
down
again.
and watched like 2 hours of the Coyote and Roadrunner?
I probably have when I was a child.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, no,
it's boring.
that's why they usually put it as like shorts,
like
in
a
between,
5-minute cartoon. Yeah,
in
that's
between
good
the
enough.
rest of the other cartoons, because like it's fun to see different ways that they do the same thing over and over again, but like not all at once.
Exactly.
Also, you're trying to add a complicated plot to the show.
Mm-hmm.
But the things that make it funny are, you know, the slapstick humor of, haha, the mouse outsmarted the cat again.
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half.
Yeah, and the poor cat never gets anything good.
Oh, look, here's some people, and here's some violence on the cartoon cat.
Yeah, exactly, like Sylvester and Tweety.
Yeah.
It's only funny for a little while.
Yeah.
And when you throw people into it, it makes it bad. And when you try to do a plot based around more than just comical cartoon violence towards animals, it stops being funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because, like, you know, the cat is trying to murder the mouse.
Right.
It's just that the mouse is slightly more capable of murdering the cat for reasons.
So have your kids seen the original cartoon?
I don't think they have. They've seen a lot of Looney Tunes, which is basically the same thing.
Basically. So would you take the kids to watch this?
No.
Would you go watch it yourselves?
No.
I didn't even like the cartoon version. Like, there's one where there's two bad guys, and there's a little girl who adopts a cat and a mouse or something, or...
I don't remember.
Anyway, there's like a little girl, and they try to make the story more complicated, and there's like two people who are out for money, and for some reason the cat's with them, and the mouse is with them.
Sounds horrible.
They become the heroes for reasons, even though that doesn't make any sense, because they're both incapable of doing their jobs regularly, and then this little girl's life is in peril, and it's hard to care about any of them, though.
Yeah, it was hard to even watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Because I don't care.
I wanted when I was little, because we actually rented this movie, we wanted it to be the slapstick crazy humor that we saw when we watched Tom and Jerry the cartoon.
Of course.
And it wasn't. They tried to make it dramatic and have sad parts, and it just...
Didn't work.
We just didn't care. And it made the funny parts less funny, so...
Okay, well what about this next trailer starring Peter Parker and Rey Skywalker called Chaos Walking?
That was a terrible crash. We're lucky to be alive.
Whoa! Whoa! Stop! Don't come any closer.
It's a girl.
Girl! Oh my gosh, girl. I'm sorry. No, blonde hair. I've just never seen a girl before.
Who are you?
It's so loud here.
We call it the noise. Happened to all the men on this planet. Every thought in our heads were on display.
Where are all the women?
They're dead.
What is she thinking? Where the hell is her noise? It's strange to see everything you're thinking. No, it's strange for me too, not knowing what's going on in your head. I mean, I don't know, you might not like my dog, or you want to hit me over the head with a rock or something. I like your dog.
He's stronger than he knows. You better watch your noise.
Snake. Those men catch you, they'll kill you. Get in the boat!
If you want to protect the girls, you have to leave now.
Keep you safe. Keep you safe.
With her power, there's no telling what he can do. I need that girl before she wants him. How many are coming? 100? 200?
Thousands. I ain't taught you it. You're a man. Fight.
Be quiet.
I'm trying.
Come on. Fight.
I think it looks interesting.
Okay, so yeah, it's got a neat concept.
Explain.
So,
can they all see each other's thoughts?
Yes.
Or is it just like one guy?
No, everybody on Earth, all the men, their thoughts just surround them.
And people can see that.
You see it and hear it.
Yeah.
And then, for whatever reason, there are no women around. I like that the trailer didn't give away too much.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that...
They got murdered for their thoughts being there?
I'm going to go out and assume that there's going to be some sort of, like, oh, men are bad, inherently argument put up by this show. Because, like, look at the society that has been set up. Everything's in decay.
I thought it was because, like, half the population died, or probably more than half, because, like...
Yeah, but...
If people can start seeing your thoughts, things are going to get weird.
Thing, they don't see all of the thoughts. That's what I don't get. Because, like, they see, like, parts and... like single words or small phrases. I know myself, I don't think verbally in my head for most of what I'm going to be saying. I don't pre-say what I'm saying.
No.
I just stream of consciousness, put it out there. Or when I'm thinking of a problem, I think of the problem in a more abstract way, which would not come across.
Well, it would be pictures, wouldn't it?
Somewhat, yes. But that's the thing. Like, a lot of what, like when we see him saying, "Oh, how do I know I'm not going to kill my dog or hit me with a rock?"
Yeah.
Right.
I like your.
He had to think about the fact that he doesn't understand and is afraid. That's a thought that's going through his head. We don't see that thought, so we only get to see parts of their thoughts.
Well, maybe that's how it would stream out of your mouth. Maybe he was thinking it as he said it.
Could be.
Because if you're verbalizing it, then you don't need to also be thinking it at the same time, because you're already making it
right
sound.
So, is this a movie we want to go see?
I think it looks interesting. I would watch it.
Would you go to the theater to see it?
Not right now. Not in COVID times.
We're going to assume that there's not COVID times.
Under standard.
I don't know if I'd go to
Cheapy
theater.
Tuesday.
Maybe, yeah, Cheapy Tuesday I'd go.
Maybe, yeah. Not a full price movie.
Not a full price movie.
It does look interesting.
Even if it has Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley, that's not enough.
I don't
go for actors. I know.
Because if you follow, this actor's in this movie, that's the sucker's play. Because then they're just going to pump out a bunch of bad movies.
Nicolas Cage, what?
Oh, he's fun.
Yeah, I love Nicolas Cage.
He makes all the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Well, and all the right ones. Part of the thing is that he just goes for movies that he thinks will be fun to be in.
He needs movies to pay him so he can buy his collectibles.
Well, but like he usually picks them because like he reads the script and then he decides on whether or not he wants to be in them. He's not just in any movie. No. He usually picks it because he's like, this sounds like fun. I want to be in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
I think that's kind of neat. That's how I'd be an actor. Maybe that's why I like Nicolas Cage.
Okay. And so I've got a collectible of the week that I forgot to mention last week for some reason. So realizing that 2020 has given people lots and lots and lots of free time at home, Lego announced the largest set the toy maker has ever released. The 9,036-piece Roman Colosseum, letting anyone visit one of Italy's most historic landmarks without risking their health by traveling. The previous record holder for largest Lego set was, of course, the magnificent Ultimate Collector Series Star Wars Millennium Falcon set announced back in August of 2017 at 7,541 pieces, which dwarfed the previous record holder, the 5,923-piece Taj Mahal. But both of them now seem like brief lunch break distractions compared to the new Colosseum. It says,
"Holy moly, it's beautiful."
It's gigantic. It says the Millennium Falcon came with an $800 price tag, but the new Colosseum, despite having 1,496 more pieces, will be available for only $550 starting November 27th.
It's really neat.
Yep, that's pretty detailed, and anybody who wants to look at this thing can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/therestedrobot or whatever it is.
Where would you put it?
I don't know. It doesn't actually say what the diameters of the thing are, I don't think.
You know, I thought of a neat idea a while ago because we got in this huge, gorgeous statue. It was meant to look like it was bronzed, and it was Deadpool on a throne of other heroes that he had taken out. So, like, the throne was made out of either pieces of the hero's costume or their bodies. Like, it was held together by... I think maybe Mr. Fantastic? I'm not sure. Anyway, it was such a gigantic statue. I think it was like 3 feet tall. Mm-hmm. It was like at least 2 feet wide. And it had details that went all the way around. So I don't know where you would store it.
I don't know. That's a mystery right there for sure.
I think it'd be really neat if people started making... you know how they make like clear acrylic coffee tables? Mm-hmm. But like it's only got the 2 sides and then the top? Mm-hmm. I think they should make ones that are like a box, you know, like a display box, but it's a coffee table.
That would be cool.
And then you can just put different things, either that you've made or purchased, inside them so you can see it from all sides, but it's protected because it would be held in the middle you could put like a little rubber wrench or something to keep it from sliding around if it gets knocked or whatever.
Right.
And then it could be, a certain number of inches or whatever away from the actual plexi. And then you could just have it and look at it all the time because it'd be right where you see it.
That would be super awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you know what time it is now? It's time for some emails.
Get what we got, Mr. Roboto. It's another email. Emails?
Yes. Remember, because we did a hypothetical of the week a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question again?
I wanted to know if you could have
a
mecha or a giant fighting robot
that you fit inside.
That you would fit inside. That would be large, like the things that make up Voltron or the Megazord or
building crushing size.
Yeah, building crushing size, or like a Gundam or whatever.
Right.
And it could resemble any animal that ever existed on the planet Earth. What would you pick and why?
Okay. Well, we got 2 emails from our listeners. Very disappointing turnout, but at least there was 2.
Okay.
Which I had to beg and plead for. So anyway, we got one from our good buddy Renee, and he says...
Huzzah for Renee!
Yes, you know Renee.
Yeah.
Yes. Mecha Beast. 2 options. 1, it has to be from a real animal. I would say a mecha ape, but King Kong size. Much like the Mecha Kong from King Kong Escapes, apes are very agile creatures and have great strength. Number 2, if it could be any creature, real or fictional, I'd go with the Mecha Godzilla Kiryu version. This one was built from the skeleton of Godzilla and later gets possessed by its spirit. It is way more mobile and extremely weaponized, more than any previous Mecha Godzilla. It could easily take on even the Jaegers from Pacific Rim.
Those are both really good choices.
Right?
Yep.
Yep, I thought so too.
I like them.
So
there's a reason why Optimus Prime became Apetimus Prime.
There you go. Exactly.
And who doesn't want to be Godzilla?
Who doesn't want to be Godzilla? That's the question, really, right? Okay, so next email comes from Daniel Peter Hitch, my co-host on Cosmic Pizza and the host of the Temporal Trek podcast. And he says, here we go, hypothetical. Hey, Rustaloos. Apologies for the late response, but my hypothetical comes with a problem. My pick is a giant praying mantis mech, for no other reason than it is a terrifying alien-looking creature whilst having the ability to grip and lift objects many times its own weight. Proportionate punching strength, it shatters opponents, and flight. Here's the problem. I mainly picked Mantis because of a recall of an anime I used to religiously watch on VHS as a small child, where a robot mech fought a giant praying mantis, amongst other giant creatures, and that always stood out as a cool design to me. However, over the years I've tried but cannot track down the anime, so I'm enlisting the help of Josh Kitty and all the Rustonauts. Here's the clues to go on. I believe it came out in the late 80s. It went straight to VHS, possibly part of a deluge of knockoff Gundam shows that came out. It was definitely dubbed. The look of the animation style was closer to Ulysses 31, and also similar to Gale King Force 5, if you know what that is. The story revolves around a family who lived on the robot mech and went around the world fighting giant creatures, such as the aforementioned Mantis. However, they start losing when the family start to argue and go their separate ways. They had a white jumpsuit uniform with a Thunderbirds-style motif. The father or leader character had a thick brown beard, and they had an adopted android girl daughter of the large family. During the movie, the android daughter is fatally wounded in the chest, but is eventually brought back by the end. This had the same impact on small, childlike me as Optimus Prime's death in the Transformers movie. I realize it'll be a needle in a haystack, and I'll only know it when I see it. Grateful for any help someone can offer. Dan.
Right, that is a hard request, and that's going to take some looking into.
Yes.
I was wondering if there might be a possibility that it's something called the Brave Fighter of Sun Firebird? Fighbird?
Firebird, yeah.
Apparently it also has, it's got a family, but it's also a team.
When did it come out, does it say?
This one says it's 1991.
Well, that is late 80s. Kinda.
No, early 90s.
I know, but memory is hard from 30 years ago, so we'll say it could have been late 80s.
Yeah, it could have been.
When he was watching it.
So, we will see, Rusties, if you can find, if you know who this is, like the show, let us know.
TheRustedRobot@gmail.com.
Okay, Sean, so what's your giant mech?
My giant mech is going to be one of those flying grasshoppers.
Okay, so a locust?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's what we want to call it. If we want to call it a locust, for scientific accuracy, that's fine. I just like flying grasshoppers.
Okay.
Because it can fly, it can hop, you can use the back legs to kick things out of the way. I think it'd just be kind of cool, and you can lay down in it too, so, it's easier that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it could be
giant.
It could be pretty darn big.
Well, it could be, I guess. Yeah.
It's
You
like
could have
building
like
crushing size.
You could have like a sleeping cabin in there.
Okay. I was just thinking it might be the size of like 2 or 3 cars, but okay. If it could be that big, then yes, I could sit in it quite comfortably and have a sleeping quarters.
Uh-huh.
And it's a giant flying insect with big long legs that have humongous kicking power.
Okay.
That would be mine.
That is pretty cool. And because Renee was kind enough to bring up the possibility of like a fictional creature like Godzilla. What about for a fictional creature? Have you thought of one?
I have not thought of one.
Yeah, that wasn't the question. So.
No, it wasn't the question.
And I can't do it right off the spot.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, Katie, what did you pick?
Lobster.
Because?
I think it would be really well suited in its shape for spacefaring.
Yes.
Like, it's already got the armored plates. Lobsters kind of look like a little mech anyway.
Yeah,
right?
they're arthropods.
Yeah.
They're easier to adapt to mech than people with an endoskeleton.
Yeah, I just think as far as an animal goes, they're cool looking, and it's got like a lot of crushing strength, and I want to crush things.
I could see that.
Also, I like the idea of multiple legs. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Where you just crawl along.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Because you always wanted the wheel track body.
Centipede legs?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have centipede legs, but I would have a lobster body.
Captain Josh, what is your answer?
So,
the correct answer is...
So I put a lot of thought into it.
Of course.
And the best for me would be a giant centipede with 177 segments. Because that's the largest centipede segments there are. Each segment would have a blaster cannon on the back.
Okay.
Right? So I can have up to 177 on a target while I surround it.
Yeah.
Right? I surround the whole target and just blast them from all heck. But each segment is also a head segment, so I can separate them into 2 segments, because you need at least 2 pieces.
To make it move properly? Because it
least
needs 4
legs minimum. So I can have my unit break down into smaller units so it can surround you from multiple attack angles.
Mm-hmm. And then you'd need multiple pilots, or would it be like remote?
It'd all be remote.
Oh.
Because I don't want to share my thing with 177 other people. Or 176 other people. It's my giant mech. And I didn't think about space travel. That is a good thing to think about, but as a ground-based combat, you cannot knock me over. Grappling, I will have the advantage. Yes, I don't have many attacking limbs, unless you count the fact that I can bite you from at any point of my segment. I can just disconnect and bite you and then go back into my
well, that'd be
body.
amazing. See, centipedes are great creatures.
I never said they weren't. I just said I didn't want to have a wife with centipede legs.
They'd be detachable. I'd be like a Skylanders Swap Force character.
Very cool.
It would be cool.
So I think that was a fairly successful hypothetical. So we got a couple emails.
Also, if I wasn't allowed to go into space, I would like to explore the deep ocean. I think it'd be cool. And nothing would come after me as a giant building-crushing lobster.
And I was thinking about...
So anthropods are the winners, then?
Yeah. I was thinking of a beetle that I read about a few weeks ago that's uncrushable. Because of the way the wings and everything's designed, you can drive right over it and it's still fine. I can't remember what kind of beetle that was, but that would be another option.
Weird.
Yeah. But I read about that before your hypothetical, so I can't remember what it was. Yeah. So anyway, that's the end of our podcast, and hopefully we've entertained the masses enough that all of their pants are on the floor. And if not, well, we'll try harder next week.
My sister's been listening to Rusted Robot in a ridiculously faster speed, and she says we all sound like chipmunks.
I like it.
Yeah.
I listen to most things now at 1.75.
Yeah, but my voice is high, so apparently I sound extremely chipmunky.
I could believe that.
Listening to regular podcasts now at regular speed is difficult for me. I'm like, okay, come on, hurry up.
So that's been another podcast from The Rusted Robot. This episode has been brought to you by the letters S, the letter C, and the number 315. So thanks for coming by. Take care. Do all the things in the end credits. Share everywhere you can. And remember, I don't try to hide my weird. I like to wave it around. It scares off the boring people, and it's like a beacon for my fellow weirdos. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit therustedrobot.podbean.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Rusted Robot Podcast is your best source for geek-style pop culture news.
I could do this all day.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing over there? Huh? Oh, I'm just looking over some code. You need to let me help you with that code. No way. There's only one person that helps me with my code. She's a very geeky girl. The kind who'll name your Pontoon number. She'll make your menu drop down once you let her at your hyperlink. Oh, girl, she likes to watch old Star Trek. Says Captain Kirk's her all-time favorite. He's my favorite. When you let her alphabetize your spice rack, she'll alphabetize your keys. Oh, no. She'll validate your code, yeah. The girl's a super geek. The kind of girl you read about in Smashing Magazine. That girl is pretty geeky. The girl's a super geek. Lives in very color spaces. Expand to an RGB. She's alright, right. She's alright, right. She's alright with me. Hey. She's alright, right. She's alright, right. She's alright with me. Hey. She knows the URL. HTTP semicolon. And those font designers by name. Adrian's a fake. Yeah. She'll put it in a list with the border. In perfect order. That's how she does it. Buys each and every toy she wants. That's how I do she it. Contemplates codex and no means. Specialty description. And the phylogenic order, human and me. She's a chronic color sword. Alright, super geeky. She'll validate your code, yeah. The girl's a super geek. The kind of girl you read about in Smashing Magazine. That girl is pretty geeky. The girl's a super geek. Lives in very colored spaces. Expand to an RGB. She's alright, right. She's alright, right. She's alright with me. Little Claude. Oh, don't hurt him, Claude. Yeah. Hey, what happened to the music?
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.